Hi everyone, Angie here. We're going to get started with our kids yoga session in about 4 minutes. We'll start at 11 o'clock. So um, go ahead and get yourself set up in a comfortable place, and we'll begin in just a few minutes. Just 2 more minutes and we will get started. All you'll need is a towel or a mat to practice on. And then for the end, when we do our relaxation time, I have a little turtle here, a little glass turtle, but maybe you have a rubber ducky or just something that you can essentially use when we lie down on our backs at the end to place on the belly. Okay, and then we'll be able to kind of watch that area rise and then sink back down with each breath that we take. Okay, so if you want to go ahead and grab that fun little object for the end, so you have it ready, then you can do that. I hear the chime, so it is time to begin. And if you guys that are joining me haven't done yoga before, it is really fun. And I enjoy teaching kids yoga. I enjoy teaching adults yoga. I truly believe that it is and can be a lifelong practice for us all. So yoga is like a weekly program that the library has been sponsoring for the community. And I'm here with you today on Facebook Live on the Nima Lomason Library page as a part of the summer reading program. And so today's session will be a little different. It's geared toward children, obviously, towards kids yoga. So it'll be a little different than what we do on Tuesday nights. But they asked if I could maybe read to you guys a little bit, and then throughout we can do some yoga poses and some fun stuff with our breathing and everything too. Okay, and so that's what we're going to do today. And so as I was trying to figure out what book to read, there are so many good ones that you can find at the library. Here's a really great one, Babar's Yoga for Elephants, and it's not the one we're going to be reading today, but it's one you could definitely check out. And as you can see, we have elephants in different yoga poses, which is amazing. Also, Yoga Kids, and this is a great one for you parents or teachers or kid yoga instructors. Has again a lot of great pictures and explains all the different poses and even has a bunch of fun games in it. Maybe for children that are a tad bit older, you could check out this Sitting Still Like a Frog. Aline Snell is the author. And this has a lot of really great mindfulness exercises in it to kind of help quell anxiety. And I forgot to say, Yoga Kids was written by Marcia Wenig. And the Babar's Yoga for Elephants, let's see, was written by Laurent de Brunhoff. So giving credit where credit's due. So that's just some of the books that you might find at the library. If you want to find some books for yoga, especially kids yoga or meditation, just ask your library and they will direct you to plenty of books to choose from there. So what we are going to read today is this book here. It's called Moody Cow Meditates. It's by Carrie Lee McLean. And if you haven't read this book yet, this is a great book. And what I like about this book too, and if you were able to maybe in the future check this book out, there's a little craft project and all the steps and everything that you can actually make what's called a mindfulness jar. And so kids, I've actually made those jars with kids before when we were able to do these classes together in person, and that's a really fun craft, and it's something that you kids can use as a coping skill whenever you're feeling big emotions, big feelings. So Moody Cow Meditates. We're going to start it, and we might take little breaks in between where we'll do some yoga, and then we'll come back to the story, and hopefully we can get through the entire story in our time today. So here he is. He says, "My name is Moody Cow. It used to be Peter, but now it's Moody Cow. It all started one rotten day when everything went wrong. First, I had a bad dream. A very bad dream, which involved a giant three-eyed alien. What a rotten way to wake up. Yeah, that's not a good way to get up in the morning to start our day, for sure." And in the picture here, he's saying, "Mom," and he looks really scared. So I wanted to find my mom and tell her about the giant three-eyed alien. But I couldn't find her anywhere. So I admit I was in a bad mood to begin with. Okay, and there he is. And you can see his horns are getting red here. Then I couldn't find my skateboard. Turned out my sister had borrowed it. Daisy, stop drawing on my skateboard. Look what she's doing. Oh no, his day's not getting any better, is it? Okay, maybe I overreacted when I pulled her tail, but it was a brand new skateboard. So then Daisy had to get me back by tripping me on the stairs. What a monster. Uh-oh. It's getting worse. That made me mad. So I cut her doll's hair off on purpose. Of course, I got in trouble for that, which made me miss the bus. I had to ride my bike all the way to school in the snow. And that made me really mad. All right, so we're going to pause there. And so for Peter, or now he's known as Moody Cow, he started out having a really bad day, and it just kind of got worse and worse. And so we're going to do just a little exercise, a little breathing exercise to help us calm down that we can use whenever we might be having a bad day. Maybe we're at school, maybe we're at home, maybe we're getting into an argument with a really good friend of ours, whatever might be going on. Maybe you just don't feel good, and you wake up and you just don't feel very good, and so you have kind of a bad start to your day. So we're going to do an exercise called taking 5, and then we're going to do some more active yoga poses after that. So to do that, to take 5, all you do is you take a big breath in, and then you hold that breath while you have your hand count to 5. Or count down from 5, either way, and then you exhale and let it all out. All right? So we would inhale, hold the breath, and let it out. Good job. Let's do that 2 more times. Take 5. Inhale. Hold the breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. And again, inhale. Take 5. Hold the breath. Let it out. And one last time. Inhale. Take 5. Hold that breath. Exhale. Let it out. And so close your eyes for just a second and just see how you feel in your body. Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel calm? Did taking 5 help to calm you down a bit? And when you're ready, open your eyes, and we'll do some more, some active stuff, some of our yoga poses. So we stretch in yoga, and instead of calling them stretches, which, really that's what they are, we call them poses in yoga. Lots of our yoga language comes to us from a language called Sanskrit. And so we have our common names for yoga poses, but we also have some Sanskrit names, or the Sanskrit names for yoga. And so we begin and end every yoga class by bringing the palms of the hands together at your chest, kind of in prayer hands. And then we say namaste to each other, and that's Sanskrit. So namaste in Sanskrit means the light in me, or the good in me, sees the light in you, or the good in you. So that's how we begin. So namaste, you guys. So glad you could join. And let's begin by coming on to the hands and knees. So we're going to come back and see what Moody Cow is up to and see if his day gets any better. But first, let's do this little kind of moving stretch, this moving flow. And in yoga, we call flow vinyasa. Vinyasa is another one of those Sanskrit words. So we come onto the hands and the knees. Sanskrit comes to us from India, by the way. So we stand, come onto the hands and the knees. We're going to have the hands under the shoulders, and the knees are under your hips. And we start by making a table with the back. So we don't have the back rounded and we don't have it dropped down. We're just making a table like somebody's going to have a picnic lunch on our table. That's how we start. But then as we inhale, we're going to start to drop the belly down and lift your hips up and your head slightly up. This is cow pose. And so you could moo like a cow if you wanted to here. But then on your next exhalation, we're going to pull the belly in and start rounding the back, kind of pressing through your hands and your knees, even the tops of your feet into the ground. Tuck your chin, let it drop. And that's our scared cat, which makes sense. If you have a cat and you've seen them scared or mad before, they come into this arched position, right? So moving back and forth, we're going to go into our dog-tailed inhale. Coming into that cow pose, that cow stretch. And then as we exhale, pull the belly in and round like a cat. Ow. Back and forth. You can make your sounds if you want to, or just listen to the sound of your breath, but make sure that you're not holding your breath. Good. And then coming back to that table, that flat back, we're going to take the toes of the feet and kind of curl them under. And then we're going to make a pyramid with our bodies. So this is called downward facing dog pose. And see how I'm making a pyramid? I'm making like a triangle with my body. So I'm pressing back through my hands. And you can play around in down dog. You can wag your tail here. You could bark here. You can see what it felt like to lift one leg and lift the other leg, getting nice and strong through your arms and your core, and then lowering your knees. And then pressing back into child's pose. And so for this, we just, you can stack one hand on top of the other if you want to, and rest your forehead. And so this makes our back feel really good. It also helps to calm us down if we're feeling, again, those big feelings, those big emotions, and we need to take a little break. So come back up onto the hands and the knees. And then let's see what is going on with Moody Cow. I hope his day is getting better. I have a sneaky suspicion there might be more to it. So remember, he's having to ride his bike to school, okay, because he got in trouble for messing with his sister's stuff, essentially. I'll try to get it like this. There you go. I'm trying to make it to where you guys can see it. So, this looks like some more trouble has came his way. Let's see what in the world is going on. On the way home from school, I hit a snowbank and scraped my knee. There was blood everywhere. The rest of the way, I couldn't stop thinking about how my rotten day was really Daisy's fault, his sister's fault. Was it his sister's fault? I don't know. She put me in a bad mood by drawing on my new skateboard. But remember, he woke up in a bad mood before even any of that happened. So, he says, or maybe it was the giant three-eyed alien's fault for giving me bad dreams. Yeah, whatever. I was so mad I couldn't see straight. And when I turned into our driveway, I crashed right into my dad's truck. And look, he says, ow, I think I broke my nose. My goodness. Well, you can understand that with a bloody knee and a banged up nose, I was madder than ever. And look at him here. Oh my goodness, super mad. And he's got look at his horns now. They're super red. He's got smoke coming out of his ears. He's all bloody from his scrapes and his bike accident. And look, he's got his arms crossed across his chest like that. That usually tells us that somebody's having big feelings, right? So maybe he needs to take 5 like we just practiced. I'll bet that would help him. So Moody Cow says, I can't take it anymore. And then I did something crazy. I picked up my baseball and threw it right through the window on purpose. Oh no. As you can see, there's his mother. He looks like he's in big trouble. He looks like he regrets doing that. He let his anger and being mad, he let that kind of get him out of control, didn't he? Unfortunately, my mom saw the whole thing, and she said, "What on earth do you think you're doing? Have you lost your mind?" She came outside, took one look at my super mad, rotten day face, and I guess she felt sorry for me. And then she said, "Aw, are you a little moody cow?" Of course, my sister Daisy heard her say that. She started shouting, "Moody cow, Peter is a moody cow." And the next thing I knew, all the kids in the neighborhood joined in with her. Oh no. "We need grandfather," Mom said, and picked up the phone. All right, so let's pause there in our story. And we'll do some more stuff. So, let's start in a sitting position for this little sequence that we do. Scoot this back a little bit. And see about bringing the soles of your feet together like this. Okay? And so trying to keep this outer part of the feet, so that part of the feet, together as best you can. I want you to think about your feet as a book, okay? And so we're going to take our hands and try to open up the book to take a look inside. So breathing here. Big breath in. And then blow it out. And then close your book back. And we're going to hold on now kind of to the ankles. And we're going to come into our butterfly pose. So, this is our bound angle pose. In kids yoga, we call it butterfly. And we have, the opportunity to move our wings. So then let's test our coordination. Let's see how much we can focus and pay attention and coordinate. So let your wings stop flapping. And then see about only flapping that right wing. See if you can keep the left wing still. Good. All right, now other side. Only the left wing flapping. Great. Now both wings, lower wings flapping. And then to make the upper wings, we take 2 fingers, we bring them together like antennas, and we flap the elbows. And this is a big coordination challenge here. It's like rubbing the belly and patting the head at the same time. And release. Good. All right. So then I'm going to turn to the side to show you guys a nice stretch to go into after butterfly stretch. And that's diamond stretch. And so as you can see, I took my feet from here kind of close in toward the body. And I'm going to move them out. Push the feet forward away from me a little bit, but the soles of the feet, the bottoms of the feet are still together. And then I kind of hold on to my lower legs here, sort of a little bit under the knees. And I'm first of all just going to sit up nice and tall. And then as I blow my breath out, as I exhale, I'm just going to come into a forward fold here. So from the front, like this. Okay? So you should feel that in your hips and into that lower part of your back. Take one more breath. And then just slowly start pressing yourself back upright. So if you notice, in yoga, we focus not only on the stretching, but on the breathing, because those two working together is what makes it a really different practice, all right? And it makes it a calming exercise that we can do for ourselves. So let's see what's going on. Remember, Mom was on the phone calling grandfather to see if he can give some help. So it says, whoops, here's this picture here, if you guys can see it. I'm going to bring you out of the sun. There, that's better. All right, so it says, pretty soon my grandfather was sitting in the sunroom on a meditation cushion. I got to sit on one too. I hear they're calling you Moody Cow, grandfather said and smiled. I couldn't help smiling back a little. I guess Moody Cow was kind of a funny name. Here's grandfather. He looks very serious, very calm though. All right, and he's got something sitting in front of him, doesn't he? You see a little jar in front of him? He's going to explain that now. So this is kind of the craft that I was talking about at the beginning. So he says, see this? He asked as he pointed to a jar of water. This is your mind, he said, and these, he held out a little dish of sparkles, are your angry thoughts. That, I said, is a jar of water, and those are Daisy's fairy dust sparkles. Come on, Mr. Moody Cow, work with me here. Now what we're going to do is put in a pinch of sparkles for every angry thought you have. Then we're going to sit here until they all settle down to the bottom. By the time the water is clear again, your anger will have all settled down too. It won't work, I told him. Well, let's just see, he said. All right, so here they are working on it, putting some of those sprinkles into the water. I took a pinch of sparkles and dropped it into the water. Which angry thought is that? Grandfather asked. That's the three-eyed alien. It tried to gobble me up last night. Oh, I see. Rotten way to start the day. What else? I put in another pinch for the next angry thought. This is me having to clean the toilet for a whole month for breaking the window. I hate cleaning the toilet. Me too, said Grandfather. What else? I put in one more pinch of sparkles and said, this is Daisy drawing on my brand new skateboard with a marker. Oh dear, she did that, Grandfather sighed. Okay, what else? This pinch is when I missed the bus and had to ride my bike to school in the snow. You can ride a bike through the snow, Grandfather asked. I have good tires. Anything else? Well, on my way home, I scraped my knee and I was so mad I crashed into Dad's truck. I think I broke my nose. Ouch, Grandfather said. That must have hurt. It did. Then I picked up my baseball and threw it through the window. On purpose. Wow, you should put in a double pinch for that one. I guess you really did have a Moody Cow day. I sure did. Is that all? Grandfather asked. Yeah, but it's a lot. It sure is, Grandfather said. So we put in all of those sparkles or the glitter. Sorry, sun is moving, so I'm having to move with it a bit. And it says, Grandfather put the lid on the jar and shook it up really good. And he said, this jar is like your mind right now. Angry thoughts bouncing around all over the place. Okay, so he put all the glitter in the water in the jar. And then he shook it around, and all the glitter, his angry thoughts, or maybe just worried thoughts, or, fearful thoughts, thoughts of being scared, just anything that's causing, trouble, causing you to feel those big feelings. So now let's see what happens when we let your angry thoughts settle down, Grandfather said, putting the mind jar down in front of me. Just sit quietly and see what happens. I sat up real straight and then I got to ring the gong. Bong! I sat watching all my angry thoughts swirl around like crazy in the jar. A few thoughts slowed down and sank to the bottom, then a few more and a few more. It was so still I could feel my heart beating. It was so quiet I could hear my breath going in and out, in and out. I felt a ray of golden sunshine coming through the window. It warmed my back and started to melt away, the last of my anger. Finally, Grandfather rang the gong to end the meditation. He leaned over to whisper in my ear, "Okay, this part's important. Don't move until you can't hear the sound of the gong anymore." I cocked my head, listening closely. Bong! The ringing got softer and softer and softer until I couldn't hear it at all. Grandfather smiled and held up the jar. "Well, look at this. All the sparkles have settled down," he said. "And my angry thoughts have too," I said. I guess if I think about it, I could get mad again." "That's probably true," he said, "but we had to work pretty hard to settle them down. Let's not stir them all up again." I laughed for the first time that day. You see, there he is laughing, and Grandfather's happy too. "That thing is cool," I said. "Can I keep it?" "Sure," said Grandfather. He smiled and handed me the jar and the dish of sparkles. A few minutes each day helps keep the moody cow away." I laughed again. "Thanks, Grandfather. Can we do this again tomorrow?" "Of course. Let's try to do this together every day." I went to my room and put the mind jar by my bed just in case the three-eyed alien ever comes back. Now it's been 2 whole weeks and I haven't had one moody cow day. But I've decided to keep the name anyway. I kind of like it. And we see him crossing out Peter on his door to his room and putting moody cow. The end. So again, Moody Cow Meditates. This is a great book, and really the message of that book is that it's okay to get mad. We're going to get mad, whether we're kids or adults. That's going to happen. We're going to get angry. It's what we choose to do with that anger and how we choose to react when we're feeling mad about something, or maybe we're mad at someone, like he was mad at his sister in the book. So keep that in mind. Don't ever feel bad about being upset, about being angry. Just see if you can do what Moody Cow did and try to calm yourself down. If you get this book at the library, it actually, at the end of it, which we didn't read, but the very last page is the Moody Cow Mind Jar, and these are like very clear instructions on how to make your own mind jar. And then you can keep that jar in your room and use it, whenever you are feeling like you need to calm yourself down. So, keeping that in mind, let's do a little bit more yoga before we come into our relaxation part. And I'm going to see about setting up the camera where the sun's not in our way, if I can do that. So bear with me as the sun is moving. Okay, here we go. So we're going to do a little bit with standing, and so go ahead and stand on up. I'm actually going to turn this to where you can see more. Yeah, there we go. So come on up to standing, and we're going to do just a couple of what we call sun salutes in yoga, right? So a salute is basically saying hello. All right, so saying hello to the sun. And so we start in a standing position. We're going to bring the palms of the hands together at the chest like we were doing when we first started. Okay. And then inhale, and we're going to reach the arms up toward the sky. And then look up at the sky. Reach as high up as you can. Even wiggle your fingers, take a big breath in. As your breath flows out, we're just going to fold over the legs. Let your head hang, nod the head yes, shake the head no, and just let your arms hang like a rag doll. And so then bend your knees, let your head keep hanging, let your arms keep hanging, and we're going to roll our way up like a rag doll. That's our half salute. So now we're going to come into a full salute. I'm going to stay to the side to show you guys. Hands are at the chest again. Inhale, reach up, touch the sun. Exhale, and hold. Tickle your toes. Bring your hands to the ground, and either step or hop your feet back into plank pose, like we're going to do a push-up. Now lower your knees. Lower all the way down to the belly, and bring your hands kind of close up by the head so that we can gently press up and come into our cobra pose. So cobra, you might make a hissing sound, so maybe move back and forth a little bit. Take one more big breath in, and then as the breath flows out, let that cobra go to sleep, stacking one hand on top of the other. Turn your head to the side and just take a brief little nap. And then nap time's over. I told you it was brief. We're going to bring our hands close in by the chest. Come up onto your hands and knees. Curl those toes under. And then come back into that downward facing dog. Pressing back through the hands. Remember, you can kind of move around a little bit if you want to. You could try to lift one leg up if you wanted to. If you're lifting one leg up and just standing on one leg, this is our three-legged dog. And then start walking your feet up toward the top, toward your hands, coming up partway as you make that tabletop back. And then bring the chest toward the legs. Bending your knees, hanging like a rag doll. Rolling your way up. Reaching up, touching the sky. And then bringing your hands back to your chest. So let the arms rest. In yoga, we like to practice a bunch of standing balance poses as well. And so one that a lot of us have seen, if not we've done it before ourselves, is tree pose. And so for tree pose, we're going to take all the weight out of one leg and then bring that foot to rest it on the inside of your other leg. And then you can have your hands at your chest, and you could make a flower with your hands, a lotus flower. If you get kind of wobbly, it might help to hold on to something. Maybe you could hold on to, your brother or sister if they're practicing with you, your mom and dad. If you're really flexible here and you have really good balance, you might be able to bring that foot up higher. Take a big breath and then blow it out. And let the arms rest. Let that leg come down. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So we take all the weight and we empty it out of that leg that's going to be lifting. And then we place it on that inner leg. And your foot might be low. You might have your toes on the ground and just the heel on the foot on the inside of the leg, and that's okay too. Wherever you can balance is fine. Take a big breath in and blow it out. And then release the arms and let that leg come down. All right. So then coming into a sitting or a standing knees position. So to find that position, you can come to your hands and knees, but then come up to standing knees, okay, where you're standing on your knees. And now we're going to take and sit one hip down. I'm taking my left hip down, but it doesn't matter which side you want to. And then I'm going to reach my arms up and grab my hands, clasp my hands, and then turn the palms of my hands to face up towards the sky and kind of over toward the side, toward my right side. This is our mermaid or merman, merperson stretch, merperson pose. And you can see why it's called that, because I kind of feel like a mermaid sunning on a rock right now. And then slowly see if you can use the muscles in your belly and your abdomen to help you come back up to standing. Keep your hands clasped if you can. So up on standing knees, merperson pose. On the other side, we bring that right hip down and reach the arms out to the left. And get a nice stretch like a mermaid on a rock in the middle of the ocean, or a sandbar, I guess. And coming back up, release the arms down. All right, so from here, we're going to come into a sitting position. And we're going to do one more kind of calm down, grounding exercise. So with this is called peace breath, okay? And peace breath is another thing that we can use if we're having a moody cow day. We can use that to help us calm down. So for peace breath, it's really simple to practice. We just take a big breath in, and when we exhale, we whisper the word peace. All right, let's do that a couple more times. So inhale deeply. As you exhale, whisper the word peace. Peace. Now, if you're around a bunch of people at school or whatever, then instead of whispering the word out loud or saying the word out loud, you could just think the word as you are breathing out. And that can help you, even if you're just thinking about it and not saying it out loud. So let's do that 3 more times. Inhale. Peace. 2 more. Inhale. Peace. And 1 more time. Inhale. Peace. And just practice that as much as you need to until those big feelings, those big emotions can calm down a little bit. So now we're going to get ready to come into our resting part of our session. So coming into a position where you're lying down. Okay. Grab your object. I'm grabbing my turtle now. And we're just going to hug the knees into the chest and rock from side to side a few times. Bring your knees back to center. Put your hands on your knees and make little circles. Draw little circles with the knees. And then draw little circles in the other direction with your knees. And then we're going to come into happy baby. And so for happy baby, we bring our arms inside the legs, kind of let the knees pop out to the side. And then we grab hold of the feet and we bring one foot away and then the other foot away from the midline. as the knees are bending toward the ground. And then you might rock side to side in happy baby. If you have a little brother or sister that is a baby, you've probably seen this before. One more breath here. And then hugging your knees into your chest. We're going to take the feet down to the ground and then have the feet kind of separated a little bit. We take a big breath in. As the breath flows out, like windshield wipers, your knees are going to go to one side, and then they're going to come back to center, and then to the other side, and then windshield wipe the knees center, and then take them to the one side, and then back to center, and then the other side. One more time each side. Windshield wiper knees, and then back to center. So you might keep your knees bent here if it's more comfortable, or if it feels okay to extend your legs, go ahead and reach them out. Take your little object, whatever it is, and place it right underneath your belly button, or around, around that area, that navel area. And then I'm going to put my hands back behind my head so you can see it lift. So as I inhale, you can see that turtle lift up. And then as I exhale, it lowers back down. Can you see it? See if you can make your object do the same thing, keeping the chest kind of level. Not really lifting the chest, but the belly lifts with each breath. And just keep breathing. You could close your eyes here, just relaxing. Keep making that object move so that you're not holding your breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to take that object, put it off to the side, and we're going to hug the knees back into the chest. See if you can make yourself into a little ball, bringing your head up toward your knees toward your head. And then either roll onto your side to come up, or rock up and back down with me 3 times. So we would rock up as we breathe in, exhale back. Rock up, breathe in, exhale back. One more time. This time we stay up. Just come into a sitting position. So remember, at the beginning, we did namaste, and that is how we will end as well. But I wanted to show you one more time, Movie Cow. This is just one of many books that you will, I'm sure, find at the library. They have a great selection, so make sure to ask for help if you're looking for some yoga books, if you're looking for some books to learn more about yoga and about just these little practices where we can calm ourselves down when we feel angry, when we feel stressed out or afraid or annoyed. So thank you so much for coming today. I hope you got a lot out of it. It was a lot of fun. And let's bring the palms together at the chest. This is our heart center. The heart. And namaste. The light in me sees the light in you. Take care, everyone. Bye.